What's up, everybody? You got Tone here, bringing you my battle for week number 3 of the NPA Minors, taking on Curt and his Adelaide Absols. If you guys missed the team builder, it's in the link in the description down below. I go a little bit in depth into my sets and why I brought what I did. So, if you guys do not want to see the team builder, you want a condensed version, I am bringing a offensive Charlie Berry, Quiver Dance, Volcarona with Bug Buzz, Fiery Dance, and Hidden Power Ground. I have a Spadef Drapion with Taunt Toxic, Poison Jab, and Knockoff. I have a Psychinium Z, Musharna with Barrier, Calm Mind, Moonlight, and Stored Power. Adamant Choice Scarf, Diggersby with Return, Earthquake, Fire Punch, and U-Turn. Clefable with Stealth Rock, Soft Boiled, Moonblast, and Fire Blast. And a bulky Crobat with Defog, Roost, Brave Bird, and Super Fang. So, as you see, my opponent decided to bring the Garchomp, his Nihilego, Spiritomb, Noivern, Magmortar, and the Dhelmise. So I got most of the team correct. I knew for a fact he would bring that Spiritomb to not get walled by my Musharna, and I kind of wish I didn't have Barrier on my Musharna. I really wish I had Dazzling Gleam right now. But the game plan is still a little bit effective. All I have to do is get rid of Spiritomb, and Musharna puts in a ton of work against his team. So in terms of potential leads for my opponent here, like I mentioned in the team builder, his only way of setting up hazards in terms of Stealth Rock is either Garchomp or Nihilego. So I thought he would lead with one of those two options. In my best interest, I thought it would be best for me to lead with Diggersby, mainly because I would at least get some momentum. And everything on his team is kind of weakened by Earthquake except for the Noivern, so I at least want to try to get some damage off on that. So, with that being said, we're just going to jump right into the battle, and we're going to see how things play out in this one. So like I said, I'm only with my Diggersby. He's going to live with his Noivern here. So I'm just going to fire off a U-turn here. He's not Scarf, so that's good to know. I'm going to U-turn out. I'm going to go directly into my Crobat here, as he's going to reveal U-turn of his own. So now he knows that I am Scarf, and he reveals Life Form and goes directly into his Nihilego here. I don't want to stay in here taking a Power Gem because I can't touch this. He's going to make a nice double here into his Garchomp as I go out into my Drapion. So from here, I'm like, okay, my Drapion is Sugar Berry. I can take an Earthquake from this Garchomp. I'm just going to click Knockoff here. Because it's kind of a fail-safe play. I'm also Battle Armor, so I cannot be crit by the Earthquake. But he's going to go for Stone, for me to go back into my Crobat here, and misses as I knock off the Choice Scarf by 2 takes of roasted damage. So this actually sucks. Now I'm going to go into my Crobat here, expecting him to Earthquake me, but he's going to go for the Double Stone Edge and give me pretty low. So now I'm going to... So now that I know he's Scarf, he was Scarf Garchomp, I still don't know if he has rocks on this thing. What I could have did in hindsight was go for the Brave Bird here, because looking at the rest of his team, the only thing this would help me with is the Dhelmise, and I still had Volcarona in the back to deal with Dhelmise. I still had Fire Punch Diggersby, so I figured I could have went for Super Fang, but I tried to keep my Crobat around, so I'm going to click Roost this turn, and again, Curt's going to make a play and click Earthquake as I go for Roost, and down goes my Crobat. So, Hazard is gone, but it does give me a switch into my Diggersby here. He's going to switch out and go on to his Spiritomb here. Sorry about that. As I go for the U-turn, expecting him to switch out, I'm going to go on to my Volcarona here. I'm going to get a Quiver Dance up, as well as his Magmortar. And now I'm thinking, okay, this is a good spot for me. I can at least try to Quiver Dance up again, get to +2, and mitigate the amount of damage I take from this Magmortar. But I get a little too greedy because of what happens next. So I Quiver Dance up again, thinking he can't touch me, and then he reveals he's Clear Smog, and I'm like, oh god damn, at this point, the alarm bells went off. I was like, okay, so this is how he was dealing with my Volcarona. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. He brought Clear Smog, but I'm like, is he just going to keep on clicking Clear Smog to prevent me from setting up with Volcarona? So I'm going to test the waters one more time and click Quiver Dance, because I'm like, if he's just going to keep on clicking Clear Smog, Eventually he'll get to the idea that, okay, this is not really going to work out for me. He's probably going to switch out and all that stuff. So I'm going to Scrivener's up again, and then I get caught off guard again, and he reveals Rock Slide. And I'm like, oh no! And I'm like, oh my god, this is like the absolute worst position to be in, because I needed Piledrivered for the Nihilego. I'm not thinking this thing is packing Rock Slide. I actually kind of forgot this thing even learned Rock Slide, to be perfectly honest. Because I'm so used to standard Magmortar with like Earthquake or whatnot, so Rock Slide was the last thing crossing my mind here. And I'm like, okay, now I have to attack this thing, because it's this much of a pain. So I at least get the +1 to fire off a Hidden Power Ground. I do over half. He's going to go for Clear Smog again, get rid of my boost. And if he's going to keep clicking Clear Smog, I'm already in a bad spot after this. So I'm going to click Hidden Power Ground again. I could try to preserve my Volcarona, but at the same time, I felt as though it was kind of a waste. So I'll let my Volcarona go down here, give me a free switch out into his Diggersby. I'm going to click Earthquake, take out the Magmortar. So, good for me that I take out the Magmortar, bad for me because he gets a free switch in the Noivern, and he knows I'm Scarf. So I have to make a play, I have to make a sack at this point. And I figured the sack at this point would be Drapion, because Drapion does literally nothing for the rest of this game, because it already took damage from the Garchomp going for Stone Edge and whatnot, and he didn't bring the Mega Slowbro. I could still have this thing for Nihilego, but at the same time it felt like a Diggersby was more important than Drapion. So I'm gonna go on to the sack and switch out into my Drapion here, and he's gonna go for the Boom Burst, which is a clean 2-hit KO. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let my Drapion go down to the next Boom Burst. That's fine. We're down 5-3. Okay, back on the Diggersby. So at this point, he knows that I'm going to attack him with like a return or something. So I'm going to click U-turn here, expecting him to try to preserve this Noivern. As he's going to switch out, go back out into Spiritomb. I'm going to click U-turn again, and I get a crit. Which does suck, as I'm going to go back to my Clefable here. I'm going to fire off a... I'm going to double into Diggersby, expecting him to switch out into his... I doubled into Diggersby, expecting him to switch out into his Nihilego. That's what I expected, because Nihilego comes in on Moonblast and whatnot. But he sent out the Delmise, and I'm like, okay. Now here's where things get a little bit messed up for me, because what's going to happen here, I'm going to click Fire Punch this turn. And that was probably the worst thing I could have did, because Fire Punch does not take out Delmise from full. The best play for me to do here was to click U-turn, go back out into my Clefable to take any attack Delmise was going to throw at me. Because at this point, Clefable wasn't necessary, because Garchomp was weakened, it gets revenge killed by Diggersby. Nihilego gets revenge killed by Diggersby. The main thing I needed gone was Noivern, so I could just spam Earthquake. But what I ended up doing is I ended up getting greedy, and I click Fire Punch. I do almost 70%, but I'm going to take it out by a Power Whip, and I'm like, yeah, I think I just lost the game right here, because I didn't U-turn into my Clefable instead of Fire Punching. It would have been a lot better for me. So now I'm like, okay, I need Clefable to at least try to force, well, not really force. He wouldn't go with Spiritomb at all, because why would he go Spiritomb on a Fairy type? So I'm going to click Moonblast, I believe. Yeah, I click Moonblast. I don't even take it out. I get a special attack drop, and he's going to go for Anchor Shot and take out, well, not take out, but do a good chunk to my Clefable here. And now he's going to switch out into his Nihilego, knowing I can't switch out myself. I'm going to fire for another Moonblast, does nothing, and then my Clefable is going to go down to the Sludge Bomb here. I'm not going to switch directly into Musharna because it was my win con. And of course, my last Pokemon is the Musharna, which can't touch the Spiritomb. So at this point, it's just me like being desperate here, clicking Calm Mind like an idiot. I'm actually going to speed up the next couple of turns, because it's going to get pretty repetitive here, because he has a Spiritomb and I don't have Dazzling Gleam. All I have is stored power, so these next few turns is just me just like inadvertently stalling, not because I know I already lost the game, but it's more like my only way of winning was trying to PP stall the Spiritomb out of attacks. But then he revealed afterwards he was Assault Vest, he had Shadow Ball, and he had Shadow Sneak, and at some point he revealed Dark Pulse. Yeah, he revealed Dark Pulse here, and then he eventually ends up critting me this turn, and then I end up losing 5-0. So that was just basically just a desperation on my part. But yeah, the biggest misplay for me was I shouldn't have clicked Fire Punch with Diggersby on the turn I did. I should have U-turned into click Clefable, then click Moonblast, or Fire Blast, whatever the case may be, and then gone back out into my Diggersby and kept spamming U-turn. Because like I said, all I needed was Spiritomb gone, and I completely failed in that regard. So yeah, so we take a 5-0 loss here. We are now 2-1 plus 4. Good game to Curt. He definitely brought those sets. The Clear Smog, Rock Slide, Magmortar was a great bring for my Volcarona. And this is more like more like a down to earth sort of thing, because I do admit that I panicked a lot when I made the Fire Punch play, because I was like, oh crap, now I just lost, and now I'm just trying to play damage roll. I don't want to reveal I don't have any way of hitting the Spiritomb, and then yeah, it was just like very, very, it went downhill pretty quick. And it wasn't really a blowout 5-0. It's not like everything in the back didn't take damage. There was still a chance for me to win, but I just misplayed a lot with my Diggersby, which was a lot more important than I needed to be in this game. But again, good game to Curt. He definitely deserved this win for sure. So yeah, so what's gonna happen now is in terms of our week 4 battle, that battle won't be uploaded until the week after next week, because of TwitchCon. Similar participants in the NPA and the people associated in the NPA will be going to TwitchCon, so the league will be taking a week break for that, and then we'll go back at it week 4 when we take on the Toronto Swab Blue Jays and Coach Alright Cap. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for me, guys. I still hope you enjoyed the battle despite how bad it ended up. If you did enjoy, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and that's gonna be it from me, guys. Until next time, guys, my name is Anthony, aka Tone, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip side. Later.